DBD just received a huge balance update with the 6.7.0 mid-chapter patch. And overall, a lot of people are saying it's survivor-sided, and a lot of people are saying it's killer-sided. So, I think it's pretty balanced. It has a lot of huge changes that impact the meta a lot. Medkits hit. Healing in general got hit a lot. Jin Kick got hit a lot. Quite a few different adjustments to a lot of different, perks and playstyles and such. And a lot of people are going to have to adapt to that. So overall, I think it's a good update and a very solid one at that. The issues that were there, that were in the PTB, for the most part, got dealt with. But regardless, something I've been hearing a lot of, and something that I've honestly felt myself, even just with the couple days the update's been out, is that it's boring. I've seen a lot of people talking about how stale the game is now, and even though it was a good update, and people see it in the eyes of a good update, it made the game more stale. And truthfully, I'm just surprised people haven't figured this out sooner. The more balanced the game becomes, the more fair it is, sure. But the more stale and boring it becomes as well, because there's less interesting things to do. There's less extreme stuff to kind of tip the scales and make things a little bit more chaotic. There's less variety overall. And the less variety that you have, not just in DBD, but in anything ever, the more boring it becomes more quickly. On top of that, we've been dealing with the exact same formula with DBD for 7 years now, with barely any changes. Just think about it. The last new mechanic we got was Snowman, and that was a limited time event where they balanced it after a year to, make it more fair, which took some of the fun out of it. And before that, it was in-game collapse. And no, I'm not counting boons or scourge hooks or breakable walls. 2 of those things are literally just perks, and the third thing is a recoded palette. So I'm not going to consider those. 4 years since the biggest permanent change into the game's formula. And the Snowman, I wish there was something permanent like that. The Snowman is some of the most fun I've had with Dead by Daylight in a long time, honestly, because of the chaos, because of how silly it was. You can hyper-balance things however much you want. We've been doing it for 7 years. And if you notice a pattern, the more serious the game is taken, the more sweaty it becomes, the more it's focused on this kind of thing, the more stale it becomes, the less variety there is, the less fun things that you can do. But my entire point of this video is Dead by Daylight needs innovation. It needs silliness. It needs new mechanics. It needs new features, a new game mode, multiple new game modes maybe. You could rotate them out every week. It needs just full-on thinking outside of the box, big, bold, brand new stuff to add into the game, even if it's silly, even if it's buggy, even if it's unbalanced. It doesn't matter, because as long as it's new and it's exciting and it creates chaos and it creates variety in each match and it allows you to have different things to do, it allows for a fun, memorable time that keeps people coming back and gets old players to check the game out again. I don't know about you, but my most memorable matches of Dead by Daylight are the silly ones where just absolutely chaotic stuff happened between the killer and the survivors, and everyone's just having a goofy time with it. Whereas I don't really remember the serious matches, the sweaty ones, the close ones. Those don't have a place in my memory. It's always the fun matches, the ones where no one is taking it seriously. But overall, the game desperately needs innovation and creativity, and you could keep hyper-balancing on and make the game more stale, take away more fun things to do. But at the end of the day, this game was not designed for that kind of thing, and so when you try to balance it out, all it will do is take away the fun aspects of it. I would love to see some innovation with new modes, new mechanics, and I'm curious what your thoughts are on where DBD is, where it's going to go, how it could handle this in the future. Because again, the new patch is really good. I'm not saying any of this to harp on the new patch and like behaviors, going in a downward spiral. The new patch is really solid for balancing purposes. But still, I've heard so much after this patch about how boring it is, how bored everyone is, how stale the game is. And there's a reason for that. And it's because there hasn't really been much innovation in a long time. You'll notice DBD and behavior are very formulaic. They follow the exact same strict schedule with releasing killers, releasing mid-chapters, and I just think the game needs something fresh to keep people interested. The game won't die. I don't think it's even close to that, but I can tell there's a lot of disinterest in it right now, And that's what I got. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Am I stupid? Is it my thousands of hours brain sending me signals that don't actually make sense? Let me know. Even if you're like a new player or just an average player that only gets to play a few hours every now and then. Let me know, like, what is the different perspectives on the game itself? Is it still stale to even newer players? Or is it stale to average players? Or people with just a few hundred hours? Or whatever the case may be. Let me know. Thank you very much for watching. And I'm going to go play Deceive now.